What's up guys, and welcome back to something slightly different. As you can see on the title, I'm going to talk about PSG and Monaco in this video. Now, a reason this is coming up and not the Aston Villa series is because I literally just recorded an episode of the Aston Villa series, tested my microphone and all that sort of stuff, and for some reason I did not record the audio despite I was literally testing it and everything was working, and then it didn't record the audio, and I don't know why. But it's recording now, I hope, anyway. So yeah, I'm doing this instead. And the reason I'm doing this particular topic is because I was just mentioning it, talking about it in that video. So I thought I'd just make a separate video. Hopefully it's going to be really quick. I'm just going to be talking about PSG and Monaco in this particular video. And the reason I want to talk about them is because this season, I've been watching every single Monaco and every single PSG game this season on BT Sport, ESPN, and obviously Sky for the Champions League with PSG. And I can see, like, literally, the reason I watched the two of them is because I watch loads of football, but I watch these two teams really closely because they are doing exactly what I love about football. They are 2 fingers up to the recession, 2 fingers up to financial fair play. They don't care about financial, particularly Monaco, don't care about financial fair play, which I hate. I hate financial fair play. I hate the whole concept of it. Monaco, I mean, the whole thing, the whole beauty, in my opinion, the whole beauty of football is ridiculous wages, ridiculous transfer fees. You know, just literally people can have a release from the real world. Football is a world on its own. I love that about football. I love that about sport. I mean, that's what I love about the whole concept of sport. I mean, it's not just the Premier, it's not just football. It's the NBA, the NFL. And the Premier League, of course. Well, football. I love all of that, and they just epitomise them. You know, PSG, Monaco, Manchester City, Chelsea, Man United to a certain extent at times when they get their checkbook out and go big. Spurs do it. Real Madrid, Barcelona. I love what they do when they go out and spend big. In the market. I'm really disappointed, actually. Topic about, you know, the Angie situation. I mean, but to be honest, that was never going to work because of the issues Russia has in there in football. The issues they have in football in Russia. It was never going to work. But anyway, that's not the topic of this video. So that's why I watch these teams. Now, people talk a lot. It's obviously every single game you get the same commentary. Basically, is about how much money they spent. It's the only thing they have to talk about, but to compare PSG and Monaco is like comparing David and Goliath, because PSG are so far ahead in their development as a club. Obviously their fan base is much bigger. They've also a couple of years, which is huge, a huge amount of time. Just a couple of years is huge amounts of time because of the money they've spent. They are so far ahead in their development, and also Monaco have had to come from Ligue 2 to get to this stage. It really does show when you look through their squads. I mean, we're looking at the PSG squad here. I mean, in goal, Salvatore Sirigu is an amazing goalkeeper. In my opinion, at the moment, currently, on current form, he is one of the best goalkeepers in Europe. He's so consistent. This guy is phenomenal, and I love watching him play. I mean, and then for Monaco, you got Subasic, and well, in my opinion, Romero should be playing, not Subasic. But Ranieri keeps going with Subasic, and I just don't rate him personally. I don't think he's a very good goalkeeper. I think he makes too many mistakes. But yeah, Romero should be playing. He's only on loan, but they should be playing him. But you can see just a huge difference between Sirigu and Subasic. They're not even, they can't even be used in comparison. Like, Sirigu is much better goalkeeper. And then we look at the right backs. Fabinho is obviously Monaco right back, although Raggi also obviously plays there a little bit as well. And then we go to PSG, and you got Jallet and Gregory van der Wiel. Van der Wiel being the first choice, Jallet rotating as well. Left back, so you're looking at Maxwell for PSG along with Luca Dean, and then for Monaco you're going with Kazawa. It's just, there's no comparison between the two. You got such quality in both squads, but Monaco have only got, realistically, they've only got 3 stars, really. I mean, in my opinion, they've got Falcao, Rodriguez, Moutinho. 3 stars. Abidal, Carvalho are old. Kondogbia is a prospect and is going to be very good. Carrasco, Campos, potentially Kazawa potentially are going to be potentially very good. Borja as well, Mirin. They're potentially going to be very good players. But generally, they've got 3 stars. 3 stars, 3 players that could get into that PSG team on current. Well, the three players that could get into those teams. However, I see they could spend. Monaco, I think, will continue to spend money. They will continue to build their squad. I mean, they've shown no sign that they won't do that. But I think also you can't compare them, because if you're, for example, I don't know to use an example here, as in who's going to go. Just say you're a player and you've got PSG and Monaco both wanting you, both prepared to offer huge transfer fee, huge wages. Which one do you go to? You go to Paris Saint-Germain every day of the week. You go to PSG, because it's Paris, one. Although Monaco and Paris, you can't really compare the two of them as well. Both amazing cities, amazing places to live. But one team has got thousands, 40, 45, 50,000 fans watching them play every game. The other has 5,000 every game, which is ridiculous. Monaco's fan base is a joke, but it always has been that way as far as I'm aware. I mean, so it's difficult because Monaco really are stuck between a rock and a hard place in terms of they're going to have to spend huge amounts of money to convince players to go there, because the fan base is not there, and they're not as big as PSG, in my opinion. So it's going to be difficult, but I'm fascinated to see how they do with it. Now on to the debate of who's the best striker in Liga with regards to, is it Falcao, Ibrahimovic or Cavani? Which one of those 3 do you guys think? Leave me in the comments who's best striker in Liga. Cavani, Ibrahimovic or Falcao? Now in my opinion it is Ibrahimovic, because of his all-round game and the way he's been playing this season is phenomenal. I think Cavani plays out on the right too much to accommodate Ibrahimovic. They don't play the two up front together. It's either Cavani plays up front on his own, as he did against Benfica in the Champions League this week. Ibrahimovic was left at home to rest, plays up front on his own, or he goes out to the right a lot, drifts out to that right. So you can't really talk about Cavani as the best striker in Liga, in my opinion, at the moment. Although he's a world-class striker, so it's really hard to say that. Falcao, on the other hand, is... The problem Falcao's got is the lack of service, the lack of world-class service around him, the lack of players around him, as I've just been talking about the quality of the squads. Falcao has that problem. Ibrahimovic has got so many players giving him the ball. He's got so many defenders, obviously, fear him, and Falcao has that too. So, but just the all-round, the players around him, it's really difficult for Falcao. Although his goal record is very good so far, he's done really, really well. He's really... making up for the lack of quality around him, other than Matinho and Rodriguez. And the problem with Carvalho and Abidal is they're so old. They're so old and so slow at the back, and they're not. I mean, they're past it. Quite frankly, they're past it at their age. They are past it, and they should not be. They shouldn't be there next year. And I can't see them being there next. They won't be the first choice next year for Monaco. Now, so in my opinion, Ibrahimovic is the best striker. Sorry, back to my question. But leave me in the comments who's your best. Who do you think is the best striker in Liga at the moment? Now, on to who's the better manager, Claudio Ranieri or Laurent Blanc. Again, I think it's very difficult to say who's best, because Ranieri's obviously historically done very, very well. The Tinker Man, former Chelsea manager. I think he's managed Juventus. Has he managed Juventus? Pretty sure he has. Has he managed Juventus before in his career? I'm probably wrong. Am I wrong? Please don't be wrong. Juventus, yeah, he has. Of course, I doubt myself. Yes, you can see. Just look at his history, and then Laurent Blanc is the former top head. He's France manager. He's managed Lyon. Has he managed Lyon for a bit? Not 100% on their histories. Bordeaux, that's the one I was thinking of. Bordeaux, he's managed Bordeaux, former France manager Bordeaux, former Manchester United player. Just look at those. Both of them amazing managers in their own right. Laurent Blanc has got PSG playing phenomenally this season. I really did that. I was really critical of Laurent Blanc's appointment back in the summer, because Laurent Blanc was literally like the 6th choice, with the one they wanted. He was so far down the list, like... so that shows you how much they do rate him. But to be fair to the guy's done amazingly, given the situation. of being that low down the list. He has just come in and just got this team playing phenomenally well and unbeaten in Liga this season. Top of my head, I can't remember them losing a game this season. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. Saint Etienne, they almost lost. That was really dodgy. That was, but whatever. And Ranieri's got Monaco come up from Ligue 2 and spent money. Yes, they've spent a lot of money and got an couple of amazing players. And overall, compare Monaco's squad with the rest of Ligas. Yes, it's very good. Compare it with PSG, no comparison. But given what he's got, I think he's also done an amazing job. So who's a better manager? I think it's just whoever you prefer at the moment. That's the situation. So if I was managing, and I have done it a couple of times now, managed Monaco on Football Manager 14. First positions I think you have to strengthen, in my opinion, in this squad is fullbacks. You've got to get some fullbacks in. You've got to get a left back and a right back immediately. You get 30 odd million, don't you, or something like that, to spend. So I think fullbacks, you've got to get fullbacks in, and you've got to get I always tend to go for a backup striker because Riviere is not somebody I trust to provide the goal should Falcao, for example, get injured. Centre backs, you're going to need some more youth in that centre back, more speed in the back, because Cavalli and Abidal are old. Goalkeepers, I don't tend to buy a goalkeeper in the first season. I tend to get him in the second season because Romero is on loan for a year. But then I go for someone like Ruffier or someone on the lines of Valdez if it's a free transfer. That's the point. Valdez could go there. I can see Valdez going to Monaco next season in real life. I think that's very realistic and that could potentially happen. Wings, what do I tend? To be honest, what I always tend to do is I always mix up what positions I strengthen. Definitely fullbacks and definitely some strikers and definitely some more youth in the squad. But I always try to buy French. I always seem to add more and more French players, despite Monaco not being from France. Obviously, Monaco is a separate country. I always tend to buy French players like Johan Cabaye, Hatem Ben Arfa. I even go for someone like Patrice Evra, despite him being really old. He's still physically very good. I tend to go for players like that. Clichy, I try and get hold of. Kouchier from Sochaux, I tend to get him at right back. Kurt Zuma, Umtiti. I tend to go for all these different French players. I don't know why, it's just what I prefer to do. Bafétimbi Gomis is another striker I tend to try and get from Lyon. But pretty much that'll do it from me. I've not got much else to say. I've not had any notes for this. I should have probably made notes because I've rambled and been quite all over the place, but really I just wanted to talk about what I thought about them. I think PSG will win the league this year, obviously. I think PSG will win the Champions League this season. Having seen what I've seen of them this year, I think they are that good and that much depth to their squad. I think they will win the Champions League this season. I think Monaco will get the second spot, but next season, what will happen next season? I think PSG will win Liga again, and I think Monaco will come very, very close, because I think they'll come very close this season because their squads are further ahead of the rest of the Ligas. But I think they are far behind PSG's. Despite drawing against PSG earlier in the season, I think PSG are overall better than them. But I think I can see Monaco winning a Liga title within 5 years. I think they are. I think unless PSG continue to spend lavishly, which they will do, and continue to develop their squad, which I anticipate them both doing. It's just a case of who gets the better players in. But 5,000 fans, I can't see Monaco getting overall better players to stay around for that long, because I can't see Falcao staying at Monaco for that long, to be honest. I can't see why he'd want to, other than the project. But that'll do it from me. I don't really have anything else to say, so leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Let me know who do you think is the best striker, Cavani, Ibrahimovic or Falcao, and I will see you guys next time.